Hello everyone, my name is Vicki.
And I'm Doug.
Together we are IX Stitch. Welcome to our cross stitch channel. Today is our Flosstube. I didn't know, you didn't send me the memo. Okay.
Today is our Flosstube.
Today is our Flosstube number 10.
Episode 10, Die Hard.
One of the best Christmas movies of all time.
Yeah, we tend to start the series at the beginning of the day on Christmas and play it all day long regardless of what we're doing.
I don't like the last one though.
No, the first one's the best.
The first one is good. The second one's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Then it started on, once it got to the kids. Anyway, we also watched The Terminator on Thanksgiving.
Yes, we did.
Because we're sick.
Well, it's the Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah. Skylabs. Oh, okay. Well, it's been a little over 3 months since we did our last video. Mostly because, well, in my case, I haven't done much.
I have more.
Yes, Doug
I
is just
have some
rolling
stitching,
along.
but I have more.
Let me put it in context, though. I'm able to do a lot more physical therapy and pulmonary rehabilitation therapy. So what time do we get up? We get up originally at 5:30 in the morning. Then we really get up at 6:20. And I just keep moving till about 6:30, where I get about a half an hour to maybe 45 minutes, in which, if I'm not in horrible spasm, I can actually cross stitch or grid. And I've been doing a lot of gridding, so not much cross stitch. Anyway, so things will change.
I tend to stitch a little bit every morning and every night.
Yeah, he stitches while I'm doing some of my exercises. And we watch Flosstube. Yeah. In the evening, I likewise have a lot of things I have to do. And then I think we kind of fall into bed about midnight. So there's no staying up later to cross stitch for me. So anyways, excuse my voice. I'm having a lot of allergy issues. I thought our ragweed season was over, and it's not. Anyway, so whips. Let's start
Whips.
there. Let's start with mine. Was it
Sure.
whips?
This
Yeah,
one?
whips.
Which one? That one first?
Which one is that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, lift that thing up. Well, I was working on it, and I'm still working on it. Let me show the picture real quick. It's the Addams Family by Plum Street Samplers, Paulette Stewart. So I started this thinking I was going to get it done by the end of October, and I didn't, and I kept trying to work on it through November, and eventually I just thought, oh my gosh, this thing is making me feel dreary. It's just filled with browns and grays. And that's, there's a little relief with the orange, and then I swapped out some areas that were brown and gray with purple, but still kind of dreary, and I want some more color. So even though I'm usually a stitch one thing at a time type person, I'm gonna put this away for a bit and work on something that has more color. So I thought, okay, well, my own design that I've been working on, designing, has a lot of color. So I picked it up, and the first thing I did is stitch in 2 grays. And then the next thing I'm gonna stitch in is 2 other grays. So.
What fabric is this on?
That's
is the printed one.
Yeah, that's a Swagger fabric. I think it's called Stormy Day.
It's printed, one-sided.
Yeah, it's printed. It's one I printed with. I don't know. I'll talk about that when I actually finish my design. I'll have all that information. But I just wanted to point out that this is the only time you'll see it until I actually finish it. That I went from gray to gray. On gray. It's gray on gray. But I know there's a promise of a lot of other colors. So, although there's an awful lot of brown, gray and brown, but lots of other colors. So I'm good. That's it
And you've been doing a bunch of gridding. You have to admit, you gridded a ton of stuff. Some for me, which I'll show in a bit.
Including
some for you.
a very large project it's on Lugana. And I don't like gridding or stitching on Lugana because I have issues with my eyes. I think that's it. I can see it, but I don't have depth perception. And I also have I have a slight extropia, which is when I'm not thinking about it, my eye can start turning out. So when I'm looking at this and it's all Evie Stevie, all these things start affecting me. And so my eyes go wonky, and so does my needle. So I have to count. No, wait, count. But I got it done. And now I'm working on my own gridding for the thing we're gonna do later.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's it for whips for me.
Okay. Let's see. Where do I start? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. First, let's start with. I've done. Well, not that one. This one. I have 3 different things that I'm working on. Plus, I've had. Some other
I'm
stuff
gonna
going on.
hide your tag because we're not mini pro.
Okay, I've been working on, spent some time working on Teresa Wensler's Peaceable Kingdom. I'm working down here, and in the previous one I talked about how I'm not going to be doing the edging. I'm not going to talk about that now. So I've been working down here. Last time I had barely started. Now I've got a fair amount. I'm going cross country. So I can get some interest out of it, and this is the tail of the lion, and actually 3 or 4 of these down here are completely done, and I'm kind of going in this direction upwards, and later I'll finish the rest of the border, which you still can't see the top of is underneath there. So that's one. Did that a little bit.
That one
and I
really
put it away.
impresses me. Every single thing is a blended thread.
Yeah. Every single thing.
And you only take like
and there's
1 or 2
usually
stitches.
like 5 stitches, and then you should tie it off. I go 5 stitches, and I find as many as I can. You know, I don't care what the back's gonna look like because it's gonna look horrible. Anyway.
You know, I listened to a really old Fiber Talk, and it was with Debbie Rowley, and what she said about the back was, unless it affects the front, don't worry about the back. So if what you're doing on the back affects the tension, like if you're really trying to drag it across, or you're going to drag it across areas where it can be seen through, that affects the front.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Yeah, most of mine's full
don't worry.
coverage, so no one's
Yeah,
gonna ever
and
see
you're
it.
not really dragging it far, just a little bit.
No.
So,
No.
anyways, I liked her answer, and that was from back in 2017. So,
Now for Sampler September, I decided I wanted to start a sampler, but I didn't want to do somebody's sampler. You know, I wanted to do a sampler about me. You know, specifically me in Texas. So I rough gridded it out on our program. It's not completely done, but I know where basically everything's going to be placed. And I asked Vicki to grid this one up. It goes. You can't see it. It wraps just around to the top of the scroll bar.
was that another Lugana?
Here. Yeah, this is the Lugana you hate. One of the Luganas you didn't like. So this is, I've got my bottom border, which...
By the way, I came close to my mouth.
Did I hit you almost? Sorry.
Close.
Sorry. Bottom border, which
How would you
is
explain that to
a
my
fence. And I'm going up the sides with a different fence design that I have. And then I have other stuff planned in the center. So that was fun. I did that off and on during September, and put it up because I did some other things. I spent a lot of time on this one. This is the Valenti cross stitch Darth Vader, and this is how far I am now. Okay, I essentially have these 2 areas of fill-in still. I changed it a little bit because it was just too much. I adjusted that a little bit. I have to finish up the arm and the lightsaber, and I'll be done. Because it's on dark fabric, I'm not going to put that. There's a big red area,
Yeah.
which I've decided
Well,
I
it's
don't want
kind
it.
of
It takes
pink.
away from the picture, and the flying rocks I don't remember Darth Vader doing rocks.
Well, maybe you could.
So I've thought about, I might put something else up here, which is actually something he did, or excuse me, up here, but we'll decide it later. I think at the moment, my plan is just to finish off the lightsaber and the fill-in work and call it good. I'm probably 2 or 3 days out from being mostly done, and then the back stitch.
Well, that lightsaber is going to take a little bit more time.
Yeah, but I might finish the arm tonight.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Well,
just the
you still have
lightsaber
one,
and
so.
then the fill-in. That's kind of straightforward.
You going to use a toile?
Yeah, I'm going to be using a toile instead of whatever color is called for.
So
I have a couple of
that's how
toiles.
you're going to focus, is with the light shimmer instead
Yeah.
of the outer part.
And that's...
So you're bringing attention to that rather than Darth Vader.
Yeah, both.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, and I think that's my whips.
Okay. So, finishes. I actually finished something. Didn't do it right, but I finished it.
Okay. This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is, I don't have the book. La
Did you get it to
Poulet
me?
from Blackbird Designs is in their book Ooh La La. And I went with the DMC colors, and except I decided with my fabric that I did not want to do this in the called for green. I went with a whiter color. Now what I did also was I used the numbers to put in the 2019 for my finish by highlighting it in a green. And then as I was going through, I realized there's not a V in this alphabet. It goes, you know, W just to W. So I used the W to create my own V. So you'll see the first part of it's green for the V, and just overall it's a W. So I got my initials put in. So I guess I was having my way with this. And then I got down here to these blocks, and it's solid stitching. And I think it's like 4x4 rows. And somewhere over here, I lost a vertical row. And I didn't notice it until I was over here. No way, I think it was about here. No way am I gonna rip all that out for this and then stitch it over. And when I looked at the pattern, I realized it was a kind of a repeating design. And I didn't actually like that. I liked it to be a little more broken up. So I set up the colors at the far end in a way that was pleasing to me, that fit in with the overall design, but was not what the design or what the original sampler was. But I enjoyed it, and so that little thing was my sampler September.
Okay, finishes for me. I actually have 2 finishes. This, what was I doing? What's the stitch 9 minus stitch 1 or stitch 2?
Yeah, well, this is from
Now I had,
18 years
okay,
ago.
this is my oldest whip, which is now finished. I showed this once before. It's an old OOE design from 2000. I mean, I bought it in 2000. It was already out before then. Okay, and but when I last had it, basically the mouse, almost all of this was done. That's more than half the design was done. I had to finish the sign. This is back stitch. This is half stitch. A lot of this is half stitch. I had to finish like this little bit down here. But it has been languishing for a good 17 years, sitting not finished. This is back when I thought I needed a lot of fabric on the edges because I didn't know how big things were. You know, rather than I was sitting here playing with it. I should have cut it. It should have been. I almost thought about cutting off like 2 inches or 3 inches on each side, just so I could make it more manageable.
Well, you can do that as
But I started this when I first started
stitched in
this.
hand.
This was my first linen project. It was
catch-all.
my first mixed blended thread project. It was my first
Large project.
larger project. Yeah, in retrospect, larger project.
Compared to bookmarks.
And I was trying to do it in hand before. Now that I don't even do it in hand anymore.
Well, you used
So
to
that was
do
that
it.
one. And then just for grins, I decided I want to do a
Well, I think
ornament.
I think it wasn't just grins. He
But-
was stuck between Darth Vader and Peaceable Kingdom, and it was,
nothing else.
you wanted something brighter to stitch
Yeah, I
on.
wanted something brighter to stitch. And so I decided I wanted to do an ornament. So what I did was I pulled out one of our Prairie Schooler charts. This is 143. And this one in the upper corner,
Yeah.
that right there with the red bird, that's the one I did right here. Only took me, you gridded it in like 15 minutes or something. It took me a couple of days, less than a week.
Less than a week.
Less than a week,
You-
so I
you
did
weren't-
that.
Oh, but you had to do more stitching.
Oh yeah. I put it on white. So what I decided to do was, this is on I don't remember what they
I
use.
think
They use this. They
I
use
think they
something
said
else.
lamb's wool, but
Lamb's wool or something. And I didn't like the fact on white. I didn't like the fact that the whole background was really bright. You couldn't see the.
snow.
I went to B5200 for the snow, but you couldn't see the snow on the picture. So I did I filled the whole thing in with backstitch for the sky.
not back stitch, half stitch.
Half stitch. Excuse me. Half stitch for the sky. Half stitch for the sky. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, it made you rip out some of your back stitch.
Yeah, I just had to rip out a little bit right
Yeah,
there and
then
redo
do it on top of it.
Yeah. So I did that, but we didn't have any fabric for the backing. I'm gonna want to make an ornament, and Vicky pointed me to. Well, we have
Oh, you
fabric.
can go ahead, yeah.
We have fabric, but we didn't have anything that was suitable for backing. And so Vicky pointed me. I looked at it in Fat Quarter Shop, didn't see anything.
Well, you saw things. He was overwhelmed by Fat Quarter Shop. Plus, they had just huge packages of stuff that were, like between $69 and $89. And we didn't realize there was going to be a sale on Black Friday. So, but still, just a lot more than what you wanted. And even the stitching with the housewife stuff, those
Yeah.
were half yards.
Yeah, I didn't want it. But what she did, she pointed me to this other fabric place, Fort Worth Fabric Studio. And what they're known for is they're known for making bundles that they curate from one or more manufacturers.
Oh, many usually.
Many. And I bought this bundle. There's 19 different quarter yards in here. All of them have, really small,
Yeah.
backward,
Well, it was
backing quality, a scale. It's right.
scale is small.
The scale is small, so it works with an ornament. Okay, and there's literally like 18 or 19 different quarter yards of all Christmas colors.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I have like years worth.
Yeah,
of
I've got to be honest.
ornament.
When we lived in Austin, I would order all the time from Fat Quarter Shop because they're in Austin. It was easier than going to a quilt shop. I would just order it, and the next day it'd arrive. And I still ordered from them quite a bit. But once I found this Fort Worth fabric, every Friday they have a
One of those bundles.
not quite that much. A Friday special that's usually about $20 or less. And again, they curate it. They put things together that look really good together. But this was to scale, and we got here in 2 days?
Yeah, I got here in 2 days. I'll have enough fabric for years now to do Christmas
Well,
ornaments.
no. Next time we look, we'll probably buy something from Fat Quarter Shop.
But-
I mean, it got addictive for me with that Fort Worth fabric. I was going on every Friday and ordering it every Friday. My ways have changed.
That's good. So
Yeah.
that's actually my haul.
Well, I have haul, but my haul is from 2012. I had ordered 10 Fat Quarters from Picture This Plus.
Give me a show.
Yeah, well, he pulled them out. And I actually pulled one out, and I was stitching one of my original designs on it for my grandson. And I think I mentioned in the last video that after all these years, it had gotten lost. We had finally found it. Now I've looked at it, and I'm going to have to rip some of that out because it's just not appropriate anymore, and I'm going to change it. But I don't think it'll be one that I would ever release because it's, you know, for my grandson. Anyway, I bought 10. And you want to turn it right side up? Oh, I
That's
think
right
this
side
way. Okay, they're all Belfast count, and I did confirm that they're all still available. They got lost too when we did our renovation, when the floor was ripped up. And I kept saying, they're around, I know they're around. They were in Doug's Lego room. And they were in a shelf that was underneath everything, and there was stuff in front of it. And just, what, last week? Maybe day before Thanksgiving, he hauls out and says, yeah, I found some fabric upstairs. I thought, ah! Anyway.
That was eek. Sounds just like what you just did.
Yeah, with the exception of Rosewood, I think this is, right? Yeah, Rosewood. I must have been in a Halloween mood.
Yeah, they're all
Because
Halloween.
again, they're pretty dreary. Actually, I think what happened is I was working on my Halloween Eve, and I was kind of looking at different grays for the background, and the one I used, I think this is one from Silk Weaver. I think that's what they're called, aren't they?
So that was your haul. That was
Yeah, my
that your
haul
own
from 7 years ago.
7 years ago, right? Now
Thrilled
you can
to
use it
find
because
it.
you've shown it.
Yeah, no, but I don't really design a lot of Halloween, so
Gary will want it. You're not giving it to him.
no, I'm not giving it to Gary. Speaking of which, thank you. I didn't have this in my original notes, but I just thought about it. We had some shout outs. Laura from the Pattern Queens, right? Yeah. And then her sister, Nancy from Nettle's place. They were formerly the Addicted Sisters, and now they've separated their two channels. And it actually makes a lot of sense because they have completely different focuses, and it allows both of them to shine. And for us, it means we've got twice as much to watch. I'm kind of hoping every once in a while they might get together like once a year and just do an Addicted Sisters, but that's just me. And then finally, we had so much fun putting together our little surprise for the Sunshine Stitchers.
Yeah, we had no idea it was actually going to arrive on their a couple days before their Flosstube anniversary.
Well,
that was just pure luck. That was pure luck.
We weren't aiming for
We
it,
weren't aiming
but I
for it.
knew that it was going to happen
Yeah.
once you shipped it. Anyways, I want to clear something up. Gary, I did not wrap those packages. In fact, I thought Doug was being pretty mean. Now, I will admit
You stopped
that I
me from
wanted
doing the
it.
duct tape.
I stopped him from doing the duct tape. I stopped him from using Tivik. You should say thank you, Vicky. Okay?
Yeah, I had 2 or 3 other levels I thought of, but Vicky stopped me.
I stopped. I said, make it a little harder. I had no idea what he did. I didn't know he did the box and the tape. Anyway,
Oh, and when you opened up the wrong side of the bag, I didn't do that on purpose. I was just taping it up so it would fit in the box properly. It was pure
I
random.
will admit that I helped quite a bit and even made up some of the titles of the fabric.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm
We'll
more
talk
of,
about
I'm
that.
more
I'm
of a,
gonna
I'm
talk
more
a
of a
I'm
wordsmith.
gonna talk more about that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm more of a wordsmith, and Doug's a big doer. You know, I can talk about stuff real good, but Doug actually gets it done. So, anyway, happy Flosstube anniversary many weeks later, and we had so much fun watching you open stuff.
We've watched that show, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah, that little
We
part.
actually have a bookmark right. So we need
Right
a
at the
laugh.
time, yeah, when I go into multiple back spasms and my abdomen's yanking me down so that I'm looking at the table from about an inch away. Yeah, it's fun to turn it on and laugh and then really, really hurt. But hurt in a good way.
So, thanks guys. That was really fun.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is all about you, Doug.
Okay.
We kind of went out of order and did the haul first, but that's okay. Yes, you. Die Hard.
Oh,
It's
yes.
Die Hard
Okay.
for a reason.
Okay, so I haven't been able to dye most of the summer, you know, because it's been like 105 outside all the time, and I dye in the garage, so that means it's 115. So the first day that it was below 100, which happened to mean it was 99
And you did
and
that
105 in the
some
garage, I went back to dyeing. Okay, and in the springtime, I was just doing random stuff to get an idea how things worked and what my process is going to be and so forth. But since the summer, it's been more of a plan.
Well,
okay?
you didn't do recipes for Gary, EJ, and Sheila.
No, but
Yeah, you
I'm
didn't
doing
know.
that.
You
I
did
didn't.
those.
I knew what I did, but I didn't write them down. I actually wrote them down, but I'm not writing them down like I'm writing
Well,
them down now.
for Nancy and Laura.
I'll do that in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, actually did the sunshine stitches the first day. Okay, and what Vicky did? What happened was Vicky basically said, from watching our shows, we said we should get these colors.
These colors for
Okay.
each of the individuals.
Each of the individuals. So she helped plan out the colors and the names, and then I executed. And some of these are these. I don't know. Did I do a blue? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
You're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll quickly just flip
Just
through.
show what you did.
But essentially, what I did was I would do 2 quarter yards of each of the colors, and then we picked the best one to send, and I kept the other one. So I have some blues here. These might have been just mine. I can't remember if I did those. There's some blues. This is a kind of a. This is the.
Yeah, just
Is that
keep
the
going.
green? No, that sounds good. This is a
Different
one
green.
of them I tried. I don't know if we sent that.
Nope.
There's a purpley blue. That one.
Somewhere in there.
This is a brownie gray. This I think is the other one of one of Gary's. All these are 32 count Belfast. I think that one was like.
So they're for
EJ's.
me. The 32 count
And
Belfast
that
are
one.
all mine.
There's the other color for Gary. So that was the first batch of dyeing this year.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah. And that was fun. And then when it got a little bit cooler, you know, like 90, not 100 or whatever, Vicky and I were talking about some dyeing for. Oh wait, next thing we did is we
Wait
were
a
talking
minute.
about doing Winter Quaker. And
Oh,
for
yeah.
Winter Quaker, we want to choose.
Do we want to wait until we start talking about
Okay.
our plans?
Okay, I can do
We'll
that.
wait on this one specifically.
Okay, so I did some stuff there.
So,
and then-
but what happened here, let me just preface this, is I asked Doug to dye fabric
to a specific color.
to specific colors. I mean, I went and pulled out the DMC and I said, this is what I want. And that's when he had to start keeping track of his recipes because, he's doing little sample cloths for me to choose from. And he needed to be able to replicate it. And then once he did that, that just made sense to go forward, right?
So sample cost being 40 yards. Okay, so
did you? I thought
yes,
you did
these are
little.
the samples.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the first day,
They're mine too.
we
clear it up.
made some. This is a pink. I did various light pinks, and this is a light yellow.
It doesn't look yellow.
Or maybe that's pink. That's actually pink.
You're right.
This is a yellow. This is a different yellow.
The yellow that looks like green.
This is the yellow that actually turned out being green,
Okay.
not on purpose. And that's a slightly variation of the green. That was a blue. I don't remember why I did the blue.
Oh, I can tell you why. It's when we're done.
Okay, and then another pink and a dark pink. So I was trying to get the tone right and the modeling right and so forth. That's more peach. That's a really light pink.
that's
more
where you
peach.
threw everything together that you had left over. and you
Oh
got
yeah,
peach.
that's what. Yeah, this is the leftover peach and yellows together.
That's something he does when he's done with dyeing everything. Whatever he has left over, he just kind of throws in to one or two. I mean, you wouldn't put everything together; it could be nasty.
So use up the dye.
reason you had the green, the blue, and the yellow is I wasn't sure what I wanted for Laura.
Right.
Nancy, I wanted a very light, creamy pink. But I wasn't sure with Laura until after you met the DMC colors that I wanted. And then I chose the yellow because I liked it best with the
And then,
floss.
the next day or so, then we did the 2 colors. This is for Laura.
And
This is what I
35
did is
count.
again I did 2
36
copies of the
count.
same thing. This is 36 count. I made 2 of these and we picked the best one and sent it to Laura. We made 2 of these, picked the best one and sent
That's
it to
a
Nancy.
28 count Cashel.
This is 28 count Cashel. This is 36 count Edinburgh.
You can have a 30. Neither one of us really stitch on 36, but I will bite the bullet and do it.
So
Because
so
I
more
pulled my
purpose.
gazer out.
So more.
Which, by the way, let me show you real quick. Doug has also, in his finishes, done some sewing. So he made a cover. Although you need to do the grommet thing for this, Doug.
Okay.
This is being held on by this really cool silicone thing that OXO makes. So it won't burn my head. And that's my old Dazer. It's still a
And-
fluorescent one.
I'll show. This is my hold my scroll frames together bag.
Oh yeah, you should show that. And he just had it kind of thrown on together like a pillowcase. I said, well, you should close it up. So we thought about it, and we thought, well, to make it like an old gym bag type thing
Yeah.
from back when
So-
we went to lockers.
So I made one for my. This holds my scroll rods that are loaded now, and then I have another one that looks like that just holds the empty scroll rods, so they're all together.
Yeah, he
in
wanted
one
to use a
spot.
fabric that I wouldn't screech about him using all of it.
Yeah,
So
that's a old
surfboards,
fabric
I
we
don't
had
even
for
know
a while
why I
ago.
bought surfboards. But I bought a lot of it.
And then what we did, the other thing I did for this week was I decided to do a making of Die Hard, which will be a video that comes after this.
It's a tutorial.
It's
really.
kind of a tutorial how I do the dyeing, how I do it, my process, and so I needed something to do. So I made these
Well, before
yesterday.
you show the pictures, I want to add to what is going to be in that video. Because, I don't know where I was. Resting with my feet up or something, or doing my exercises. But I can't go in the garage. I certainly can't go in the garage when he's using dye because the acid and the vapors will come and get me. But you stop short of really talking about your process once you're done. You rinse everything out, you come in.
Yeah.
You put it in the washing machine, and you actually wash it with detergent.
Yeah. Everything is color fast. So I stop at the end of the dyeing. I do the process of, you'll see that in the first part of the video, I actually dyed these colors here, not this one, but these colors here. I actually physically do it in real time, these. And then I do a speed up, like 10 times speed up, so you're not there for like 3 hours. It's more like
5 minutes.
5 minutes to do all the rest of them, so you kind of just see what I did. And then I have like a 10-second finish up. But what I didn't video is I took these, I said it, but I didn't show it. I basically put them in the bins with water and fixative, and I let them sit there for a long time. Then I bring them over and rinse them out, and I stick them behind us in the wash machine. And literally run them through a regular wash with regular Kirkland
Now,
detergent.
mind you,
And
the edges are all surged when you rinse them.
everything's surged.
And you wash them, and this is an important
And
step.
double rinse.
When you wash them, you throw them in there with a really
Couple of color grabbers.
well, that and a couple of or a nice thick cotton towel,
a nice old towel,
but a big one.
that gets washed every single time. So
And that's
I don't
important
care
because it
what
seems
color
to take the fuzz off of them.
Yeah. And so the result is after literally washing them like you'd wash a pair of clothes, because I don't do you'll see what I do with the water and stuff, that they stay about the right size. It might be, instead of being 32, it might be 33,
They
or
always
27 might be, or 28 might be 29.
You're washing in cold water though, right?
Yeah, I wash everything in cold water. Cold water, double rinse, Kirkland regular laundry detergent, color grabbers, and so forth. and that's how I get all these. So what I just briefly.
Then you take it out and put it on the drying rack.
I take it out. There's a drying rack I have in the garage and another drying rack I have in here. Yesterday, after I took it out of the washing machine, I straightened them out on the drying rack, and then I started pulling them off the drying rack and ironing them. And then put them
still damp.
They're still damp, so I can get them flat or flat enough. And then I put them back on the drying rack overnight to finish, and I pulled them off this morning. And then, as necessary, if we use it, I can iron it again.
Yeah, and you may use Best Press on it too.
Maybe.
This one has a crease.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. This is, I don't know, this is a scratch. This is just I don't know.
I talked about how I was allergic to starch, and I've since been reading that if you use like Niagara spray starch, you may be putting something into your stitchery that will attract pests.
No, we don't use that.
No, Best Press is not a starch, so, and I don't seem to be allergic to it, so.
Just briefly, some of the things I did. These were, I was trying to do a gold, and these actually turned out,
a little bit more.
I tried to do a gold, but these actually turned out to be more of a nice brown, you know.
I'd call them like an
orangey brown.
Yeah, not in your face orange.
And then I was trying to shoot for a darker red, not exactly.
I like that though. That's kind of a
I think it's a muted cranberry or something.
Yeah.
This one has a little bit of darkness in it, along with a lighter version of that. What's that?
That one reminded me of McLean's shirt in Die Hard.
Which one?
This one.
This one?
Yeah. It's like kind of light gray and darker gray
muted,
and little red.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Prim. You'll see I was trying to do a green, but the green, I was trying to go more this tone, and it ended up being 1980s green.
Cut that out. I like 1980s.
No, but I mean, it wasn't what I wanted. Huh?
Was teal?
No, it wasn't teal.
So it wasn't even.
It was something.
Something you did not like.
It was something I did not like, and so I threw yellow. I threw some of the gold in it and brought it out to this color, which I think I really like. Mm-hmm. So interesting.
I like
it's a mix. Yeah. So that was interesting. So I lightened it. I guys are looking up. This is my. This is what I was thinking of McLean's T-shirt before he got all bloody. That's gray and white. This is like early in the TV show.
Before he got all bloody.
Yeah, when he was still running around.
Only halfway through.
Right. This one is towards the end where I'm throwing together multiple colors. I had some leftover gold and some browns and some grays and some so forth from there. That's like the last one I do. Similar, this is one of the last ones I did where I threw them together. This is Lugana, so it looks different.
That one's yours.
That one's mine.
Yeah.
And I was trying some different blues, various colors, darker blue grays.
Anyway.
And so this
is
yesterday.
The finished product of what you'll see him working on in the making of Die Hard.
Yeah. Okay. That's enough fabric for this week.
Yeah, you don't need to even show what we did with for Winter Quaker. Suffice to say, for Winter Quaker. Well, okay. Well, let's talk about plans then.
Okay.
I think that's the next thing we've got. Yeah. Okay.
So what's your plans?
Well, I'm going to continue to work on on stitching my own design. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to work on the Addams Family. If I have a day when I don't mind dreary, I'll pull it up. Something that was interesting that I discovered about that is I had bought all of the fancy floss. And yet, when I'm stitching it, only one of them you can see any variation. And the darker color, I think it's called Blackbird, something like that, is the same as 3799, exactly the same, except that 3799 is a little thicker. So, I mean, looking at it, and because I did it on 32 count, and I did it with 2 strands over 2 instead of 1 over 2. Instead of 1 skein, it needed 3. Well, I bought 2, and I couldn't get the same dye lot for the third one. So instead, I used 3799, and you literally cannot see the difference at all. Oh. I'm gonna think about that in the future. I generally do DMC, but when I'm first working with a designer, I try and do their call for, just to see. And then I start messing with stuff. Well, I mess with stuff anyway. Then I was looking at, some of the newer designs that I bought, but then Doug hauled down some of my old stash, and even though 80% of it's gone now in our big death purge from 2 years ago, I kept quite a few things, and I saw, let me make sure I get these on the right. Yeah, Sisters and Best Friends.
You know, them up.
Yeah, you go ahead. And they're just 4 seasonal charts. I never got the buttons, gotta lift it up higher. And I didn't get the buttons because I didn't really care for them at the time. But I was thinking these might be a fun project. I don't know if I'd do them all next year, if I'll pick 1 or 2, but I think they're fun. And for that matter, I'm pretty darn sure I've got the Fancy Floss. When are these dated? What year? These are from 2004. Yeah, series in 2004. I'm not gonna do those French knots though. Well, we have Fancy Floss. We have Weeks Dye Works and Jill Arts from when I had my store online, and we closed it in 2005. So our Fancy Floss is like a frozen in time picture of 2005 and before for Fancy Floss, and a lot of our stash too. So I absolutely have these colors, and some of them may be discontinued now, but I have them. So I may do them in Fancy Floss, but which is good because they don't give you any DMC equivalents. I wish they would. Not that I always agree with their equivalents anyways, but I wish they would. So, that, and then Winter Quaker. So, I had seen Connie Rich's blog a couple years ago, and it was back in time. I read it from the back to current, and she had done a bunch of Rosewood Manors Quakers, and I was enthralled by these seasonal Quakers. And I just wasn't sure which one I wanted to do. And when the Sunshine Stitchers started doing the autumn Quaker, I wished that I had the stuff to start it. And I ended up buying it, but I probably won't work on it till next year. But they said the Winter Quaker, right?
Yeah, and I saw the Winter Quaker, and I thought that was my favorite. So, of course,
Well, I like
everyone in the
all.
world's seen it. So, we'll just throw it up there. It's the Winter Quaker.
Yeah. But we had seen the dwarf fabric that people were getting, and we weren't quite enthralled with that particular color.
Yeah, I want something this color, from what it looks like when it's printed. Not the dwarf is a lot darker than this.
Years ago.
Yeah, when it's printed years ago. So, for my purposes,
Doug dyed for
I dyed
Lugana.
this.
Is that Lugana?
No, this is.
No, that wasn't horrible.
This is 28 count cat shell.
Yeah.
I have 28 count cat shell that I dyed, and Vicky, this is some of Vicky's work. She gridded the whole thing. Okay, from
In that
here-
half hour that I get per day.
here to here, every single square. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and I'm in the midst of doing mine, so you can show mine. We have slightly different
we have
colors.
We chose different colors.
Yeah, completely different base Rit dye blues.
Okay, so this
I
is.
think mine was denim and yours was evening something.
Yeah, mine is more evening.
Yeah, and I wanted a little more gray in
can you
mine. Yeah,
see if I don't know if I can. If you'll see a difference here. No.
Probably
yeah.
not.
Probably not. The camera doesn't show it, but they're different.
Yeah,
Not just the fact because they're different fabrics, they're actually different colors.
yeah, much different color.
Yours is 32 count, and mine's 28.
This one, yeah, this is much bluer. I mean, yours is much bluer, mine is much grayer.
Yeah. So,
And I'm still in the process of gridding. And
that's
hope to
another-
eventually get it.
that's like a reason why we're, rather than just doing random colors now, we're actually doing it for purpose.
Yeah, I don't know about a stitch long. I'll stitch when I want. But I may wait until December anyway.
We do have the,
Oh,
yeah, and I have the big one.
now
My
the
big
other
one's
thing
over
we're
there.
doing now, You go, why are you both stitching the same thing? Well, we have 2 daughters, so if we like it and we want to give them one, and plus Doug does not want to do the whole set, and I'm thinking about eventually doing the whole set. But what was different is, well, how we're going to stitch.
I'm using this.
Yeah, that's the
Valenti
called
threads.
for. Mhm,
The
and
called
little
for.
balls.
Yeah, I'm 28.
And I'm using the same Valenti colors, but I'm doing them from skein. Looking around, you know, you can find them all, but it takes some work. But I want to do it 2 threads, and I didn't want to sit and strip it off of that. Anyway,
Do the
when
Chelsea under your arm.
I've got this piece of paper. I don't have anything white.
Uh,
Give me your that one.
this one.
No, your chart. Your finished project. Okay. So I wasn't enamored, I don't know if you can see it, of this. This is kind of like a white. And I thought, maybe, you know, in the 6-stranded, it's really different. But as it turns out, I don't have it out of the bag. It's
the same
in
color,
the
right?
bag. It's hard to see. Yeah, it's exactly the
work?
same.
That one work?
Yeah, that one's better. Yeah, let me hold this up next to it. It's the same. So, because I wasn't sure, and I'm gonna have fun with this little ball by next one. I bought, what did I buy? Grits by Weeks Dye Works, which is a much lighter color. And I'm not sure about that either. I'm
I
gonna
got it.
start with the called for color and see what I think. And, you know, maybe just in stitching, it'll look better on the fabric than it looks sitting in the skein next to the fabric. But, yeah, okay. I think that does it for me for plants.
So you're gonna work on, yeah, okay.
I
So
think
for
I got
me, who knows? But
Yeah, there is that element. Yeah,
there-
who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Whatever we say now may change tomorrow.
I'm
So,
sure it will change.
But definitely, I'm focusing.
Except one thing, we are really kind of enthralled with our old stash.
Yeah.
We really have a lot of really nice older things that we're looking forward to working with.
But definitely, I might spend some time in Peaceful Kingdom. I might spend some time on my sampler. I'm definitely focusing on finishing up Darth
Vader.
Vader because I really only got a few more days left on it. I might be done this week. And since I want to try to finish, if I do well finishing one ornament, I'll probably do at least one other here, maybe, you know, one of these other ones here, or do one or two other ornaments. I'm thinking about what I'm trying to do now this year is do an ornament or two so that I can do ornaments for the grandkids next year. You know, I can plan a little bit early and actually have real ornaments done
Just
by
for
next
them
year.
or for everybody?
Well, maybe for the family, but you know, I'm thinking like this year, if I had known how to do an ornament, you know, I might have, you know, like 3 months ago, I might have done a small Paw Patrol ornament and a small Pikachu ornament or something for the grandkids. And I had other ideas I could have done for people, but
Harry Potter.
I didn't start until, you know,
Yeah.
a week ago, so it's too late. And I haven't made one yet, so until I make one, I don't know.
Yeah, sure. If you're
I don't know how well my stitching, even with the sewing machine.
Bonna's processor,
Glue.
Priscilla. Nah, sticky board.
Well, sticky board and glue.
It's acid free. Your glue isn't gonna be acid.
So,
Oh, hot glue.
so we'll see what actually happens. Of course, I'm gonna start Corner Quaker. We don't know if we're gonna start it on the day they start, or we're gonna start before. Just so we can
I'm
get
still
there.
gritting. I'm on the easy row,
I haven't put mine on a frame yet, so you know I'll be doing that.
but after all this gritting, because I gritted a lot of my own things, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I thought, well, I'll just grit a bunch of projects. I've been gritting on 32, and I thought, you know, I might like to stitch on 28 for a bit.
Yeah, that was another
Give
reason. for
my
doing
eyes
it.
a break.
That
I
was-
tried putting some of the 3 diopters on these magnifiers we have, and I would have to stitch like this. I don't understand how people use the readers. Maybe it's different when they're a reader from when.
I don't have any problem with 2.5, but I can't see. I can't see if I don't use 2.5. I can't see the holes on 28.
I think
count, so.
1.5 I was okay with, but I actually saw better just without it and taking my glasses off. And if I do a higher count, I'll probably use my dazer because I can set it at a certain point so it's not like I'm stitching right up in front of my face. It's crazy.
So, I guess that's it. You know, we'll see what actually happens the next 3 months.
Yeah, we'll probably see you sometime next year.
Yeah, probably.
I'm
our rate.
I'm guessing we'll see you in 2020 sometime, maybe.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.